two. All right, we are live. Let me make sure.
Oh,
Give
what's
me a give
going
me a second. Let
on?
me make sure I don't get any echoes. Let me see what's going on. Why is this taking so long to load up? Let me see. Welcome to those dudes, the show where we discuss pop culture in a holistic manner.
Yes,
Give me
yes,
an.
yes,
You know
yes,
what?
yes.
If we get echo, I'll go and take care of that. But for now, let's just get the show. Now the thing is, I'm not expecting a lot of people to come through here. The whole thing is, this is for the playback and to have a show on there
Of
introducing
course,
those dudes to this channel. Well,
of
this
course.
channel, Comic Clips, we've been doing those dudes on another channel. Now on this channel, you know what? We're gonna introduce the people to those dudes. Right? This is Radical Latino. Me,
Yes,
my persona here is Brotap. Rad, if you could tell them what you're into, what you like, you know what I'm saying? I see the Rad Fit,
yeah,
supplements on the
yeah.
table.
I pretty much I'm into social political issues, some fitness, and some nerdy video game and comic book
Yeah.
things. So pretty much,
Video games, comics, movies,
yeah,
pop culture.
yeah, pretty much that's what I'm into. So.
All
Uh,
right.
if
So,
you guys like those type of things and like my hot takes on it, definitely check out them dudes on Bro Tep
yep.
channel.
Now, here's the thing. We have a big show for y'all today. Today we'll be discussing what's gone on with Doctor Strange, WandaVision, and J. Scott Campbell. Those three things are not related, but peripherally, we're going to touch on each of those topics as we do our thing. Let me give me a second. I'm going to touch on all those. These things are not these things are not all related, but we're going to touch on these things as we proceed to give you what you need.
hmm
We have a problem in pop culture. Let me go to the still here.
We have a problem in pop
We
culture.
have a problem in pop culture.
Say more, Bro Tep.
All right, here's here's a main issue we're having here. You remember you're probably a college guy. You spent maybe a year in college, or maybe I don't know. Now you remember the social justice teacher that you had, the black studies, the feminist studies, the gender studies,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Those kinds of characters now. When I say characters, I mean the personalities, the people. Those kind of people now, they are basically taking over most of the industries that we have.
Mm.
Most of the industries that are in movies, comics, video games, they've taken that over and they're pushing their political agenda on all those things. Give me a second while I actually get these stills.
Okay, gotcha. So you're saying that they're pushing a liberal agenda into these forms of media.
Yes. Now,
Mm.
here's the thing. Everything from, I don't know how much you're into things like Twitter speak, especially in the social justice sphere. Okay. In the social justice sphere, they have a whole lot of things. In fact, around 2012, 2013, they had a whole bunch of prefixes with man, right? That man, and then you put everything after it. So if you spread your legs out too wide on a subway station, that's
Man,
called man
man
spreading,
spreading. Yeah,
right? They went so far.
it's not because somebody might be 5'10" or 6'2",
Hmm.
and sitting on a chair that's designed for a child, and
You know?
you're trying to maybe sit comfortably. No, no, it's
No.
because it's man spreading.
Yeah, it's
Mind you,
sexism. It's sexism.
mind you, mind you, I bet you if you just look down at your legs right now, you're probably man spreading right now. It's not because you want to, it's because that's what's happening. It's just your comfortability. Now, I remember when this whole phenomenon was happening, a woman took it upon herself to test this out to see if she's going to get basically told something or whatever the case is. If you see the pictures of this woman trying to man spread, dude, her legs are like in different time zones. She is like legit doing the split while she's sitting down. So it was completely ridiculous and unfair to even uh for a woman like that to even think that it was supposed to even be anywhere near any type of proper discourse to even have a conversation like that, you know. You're muted, by the way.
They be doing too much. It's try hard culture. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because what they're doing is they're transposing things that they've developed in their little hubs over in college, in their little circles where they talk about mansplaining, man spreading, all the man prefixes, and they've come, full circle. They're trying to squeeze it into average everyday life. So they try to put it into things like WandaVision and Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was supposed to show up in WandaVision. Now the whole thing is the reason why he didn't show up in WandaVision is because a discussion was had that if he showed up and he showed her how to use magic, he will be mansplaining to her. Now, here's the thing. Wanda does not have any magical training. Wanda is a natural. She's an adept. Okay? She's basically a, what do you call it? An intrinsic user of magic. Doctor Strange had all that training. We saw the movie with Doctor Strange going to Samarkand or wherever that was, and then going through that brutal training. That's come to nothing. He can't pass that knowledge on. So if he passes that knowledge to a woman, that's mansplaining. And I sent you a link. If you don't mind sharing the link so I can read it for you. It's
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Pirates and Princesses. If you
It's right
mind.
there. Yeah, it's
All
right
right,
there.
it's right there. Good. Hold, give me a second.
If you want me to blow it
All
up,
right.
no.
Yeah. If you can embiggen. There you go. All right. Yes, Doctor Strange was supposed to be in WandaVision, but they didn't want him mansplaining her. All right, if you can scroll down a little bit.
Wow.
The internet is abuzz today with news that Kevin Feige,
Feige.
however you pronounce his name, Kevin Feige. Let's go for Feige. I've heard it pronounced a lot of times. The internet was abuzz today with news that Kevin Feige admitted Doctor Strange was supposed to be in the WandaVision like fans thought. Yeah, fans speculated wildly about this, who was going to show up in this show. In the interview with Rolling Stone, Feige did, man, that feels wrong saying the name like that. That sounds suspect.
Yeah.
Feige, yeah, right. It sounds like I'm cursing him out, like I'm making fun of him. Feige did confirm that Doctor Strange was to appear in the series finale, and Benedict Cumberbatch was signed on to be in the show. They even said that the commercials in the show were planned as him reaching out to Wanda as he attempted to break through her sitcom fabrication. Yes, the minute that voice, you saw the show, yeah,
Yeah, of
right?
course, of course.
The minute that voice came through there, I said, you know what? That sounds like Stephen Strange, or something that Strange would be attempting to do. Like maybe she's catatonic, right?
Yeah.
And she's completely out of it in a trance, and then he's like basically being not only the sorcerer supreme, but he's also being a psychologist
Yeah,
and doing his thing to
not
try to,
only
yeah, yeah.
not only that, but remember some of the commercials in the show was some sort of like always play on her life or what was happening on the episode, you know?
Yes.
And it does make sense because one of the commercials was for I think was it some anxiety pill or whatever the case was,
Yeah.
and he even the physician even says is doctor's choice or whatever the case is. So
Yeah.
yeah, like it makes sense.
Yep. Now, of course, fans were all excited because they believed that Doctor Strange was going to appear on the show, and we know that WandaVision was leading to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is gonna be. insane.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's supposed to show up. A lot of these alternate universe
Yeah.
Spider-Man and characters are supposed to show up. But let me get back to this. The Multiverse of Madness film that is set to release on March 25th, 2022. Benedict Cumberbatch even apologized on the Tonight Show, according to CNET, saying, it didn't happen. Then I'm sorry about that." Can you scroll down a little bit?
Yeah. I gotcha.
The strange reason, the pun intended, fellas, the strange
Mhm.
reason he wasn't in the show. We finally have a reason for his absence, and frankly, I think it's stupid, says the article's writer. According to Kevin Feige, sorry, Kevin, if I'm butchering your name and make you sound like a moron. According to Kevin Feige, it's because some people might say, "Oh, it would have been so cool to see Doctor Strange, but it would have taken away from Wanda." That's a fair point. We didn't want the end of the show to be commoditized to go to the next movie. Here's the white guy. Here's the white guy. Let me show you how power works. What? I think that's exactly what you want.
Mm.
Doctor Strange, Doctor Stephen Strange has the experience.
He's a sorcerer
He
supreme.
he's the sorcerer supreme. And you know what? You
He
want to be
can't.
sexist?
He
How's
can't.
this for sex?
He can't.
God.
You can't have a name like sorcerer supreme without being the dude with the power, bro. Come on.
Yeah. And here's the thing. They want to talk about sexism. Well, wasn't the ancient one a female? A woman from, I don't know, Ireland, Scotland, wherever she was from?
Whoa, well, wait,
And
wait,
she taught
wait, hold
him,
on, wait a
yeah, go
minute.
ahead.
You're assuming her gender.
Yeah, let's not assume her gender,
You're
right?
assuming her gender. I don't know. Was
But
she
but
a
you know what?
female?
Yes, but they use the pronoun she for her in the movie, so I'll take that as a cue that it
Okay,
was a woman and
that's
a female
that
identified woman.
that's
Okay,
her
so and
pronouns. That's
that's
her
a pronoun.
pronouns.
All right, and so she taught Doctor Strange the mystic arts as well as some martial arts too. If anyone hasn't seen the movie, it's been a couple years. All right, get your game up, go see the movie. Right, and in fact, subscribe to Disney Plus. Those of you who are not boycotting them actively right now. He wasn't in the show. Going back to the article, he wasn't in the show, even though fans waited for it, and it was implied he would be, because he might upstage her, and the white guy would come and tell the woman who didn't know how to use her magic properly in the show how to use her powers. So they cut him out, and he wouldn't mansplain Wanda. But that's not how mansplaining works. He's the Sorcerer Supreme, a title that he took over after the previous Sorcerer Supreme, who in the MCU is a woman, died and passed the mantle down to him. If
Yeah,
you can scroll down a little bit, please.
no problem.
He's definitely qualified to help her, says the article. If there were if it were Tilda Swinton version of the Sorcerer Supreme, would it have been okay to help her then? See, that's a very good question. If it was the Ancient One, for example, if the Ancient One didn't die in Doctor Strange and the Ancient One moved over to WandaVision, would it have been then okay for someone to teach Wanda? Right?
Mm,
If the only issue was that they didn't want the character of Doctor Strange to upstage her, people might find it to be a completely acceptable reason. Yeah, that's why I said that's a very fair point, because the show's about Wanda, and if Doctor Strange comes in there with his full powers, making magical swords and all those things he was doing in Doctor Strange, the first movie, then yeah, it might upstage Wanda, especially seeing that during the WandaVision show, she didn't really, you know, use her powers in a combative sort of way yet.
yeah,
Okay, at least not to the extent that Doctor Strange is using it. All
yeah,
right, the show ended well on its own for the most part. I'm fine with the way it turned out without Doctor Strange, but I do think it would have been enhanced by his presence, and I'm a bit sad he wasn't there. That is the ultimate point here. I'm not going to read the rest of it because I think it keeps going. Now,
yeah. Of
here's the
course.
thing. Here's the thing, right? Let me get back on here. Okay. Now, when we're talking about things like mansplaining, give me a
Hmm.
minute. When we talk about things like mansplaining, we have to understand what the feminist or any of these progressive people mean when they hear the word mansplaining. They're usually talking about the hierarchy of information or the passing down of information. If you're in a workplace and I know something that you don't, you're a newcomer, it's perfectly acceptable for me to come in and say, "Hey, here's how. Let me teach you the ropes. Here's how things work around here. This
Exactly.
is how things get done."
Yeah.
Now that passing along of information is why workplaces full of men are so damned effective.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Like let me just say, I understand why some of the reasoning for not having Doctor Strange there was, so uh the focal point won't be taken away from Wanda. She is the Scarlet Witch, which is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. I get it, I understand, and the way her magic works is she doesn't have to remember incantations. She could just think it and it happens. I get it. I get it. And let's be honest, I do feel like it would taken a little bit of the shine out of Wanda if Doctor Strange would have been in that cabin with her. It would have taken some of the, he would have been the thing that we were talking about. But at the same time, I feel like, first of all, that will be a good point. But at the same time, the reasoning
I'd like to
for
knock some shine out of Wanda. She flies fuck.
the listen, she is fly. When I saw her in the 60s episode, woo, um, but I have to keep it real. The reasoning for them taking him out, I disagree. The whole mansplaining thing, I think this is liberalism going too far. When is enough enough?
you
This
know?
is it's taking it too far. It's taking it to the point of just uh not, I'm not gonna say hypocrisy, but taking it to the point where it's gonna be like, all right, what can we have that you guys can't just mess up? You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mansplaining. Now what's going to be the next thing? Hulk doesn't get angry and he transforms. It's
Yeah.
no, he's showing his masculinity. That's toxic
Yeah,
masculinity, you know.
Hulk's got that radioactive toxic masculinity,
Exactly.
you know?
So let's relax with
Yeah,
that,
yeah, let's all calm down. Now
you
the
know.
thing is
Can we
the thing
just
is
like enjoy what we need to enjoy? Like, can we just say, okay, it's a damn comic book mind you, these characters don't exist.
yeah.
They're fake.
Mhm.
So who cares?
You know, and the thing is men in this series basically took a backseat anyway. It was basically the Wanda show and it's the Wanda and the Miss Marvel show. The Photon, what's her name, the black girl who's gonna be Miss Marvel. That's another thing. Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, she can't hold a movie down by herself. Marvel panicked. Okay, we'll talk about this on another
Yeah. Yeah.
episode. But Marvel panicked. Now the sequel to Captain Marvel is called The Marvels because that girl, she can't hold down the fort by herself. But let's move on to the brouhaha that's shown up. That's enough about Doctor Strange and WandaVision. For a proper Doctor Strange review or WandaVision review, my bad, I think we'll do another stream. We were just talking about the controversy on this one. Now let's move on to what's going on with J. Scott Campbell.
Oh,
Do you know who that is, J. Scott Campbell?
J. Scott Campbell. No, I don't, but I probably remember his work.
Yeah, I mean you'll probably remember it when you see the work. Have you
Oh,
seen Have you seen this art?
oh yeah, I have. I had this poster when I was a kid. I
Yeah, this
had I had the
this is a way
poster.
back.
I
Mhm.
had the poster on the left, my sir.
Yes. Now
And
what's mhm.
I even there was a girl in my block Not gonna lie, there was a girl on my block, Puerto Rican girl, right?
Who look like that?
She colored her hair red,
My dude.
and she looked just like that, dude. I had the biggest crush on her. I ended up dating her sister, which
Okay.
kind of it was kind of good and bad because I had a crush on her sister also, but I dated her sister and her sister kind of looked like her anyway. So it was like it was a mini big headed version of her basically.
What
You
the
know what I mean? So yeah.
Well, the thing is, according to the SJW contingent that is basically rampant on Twitter, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the civil war that's been going on in comics and in geek culture in general. Okay, now there's a lot to unpack here, and we can't unpack it all on this show at this particular time for you, Rad. What we'll have to do is we'll break it up in digestible pieces so that over the course of time you can actually get a gist of what's been going on in pop culture.
Okay.
There's a civil war in geekdom right now, where I don't know if you've ever heard of Comicsgate. There's a movement called Comicsgate. It's basically a bunch of people who, this is from when I came in to Twitter and Comicsgate, and they told me about Comicsgate. I came in to troll them because they told me Comicsgate was a group of alt-right Nazis who hate women, homosexuals, black people, and people of color in general, and anyone you could imagine. They hate everyone except straight white males. Okay? And they don't want anyone in comics except straight white males. That's what I heard. And so when I came in to basically give these guys, like, hand them their ass, right? I came in there to basically make fun of them. Ha ha ha. You incels, you don't get no pussy, haha, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I came in to do all that shit, and then I figured out, wait a minute, where are the Nazis? Where are the bigots? Where are the sexists? Where are the homophobes? Where are they? Where are all
You
these
mean
people
to
that they're
tell
talking
me
about?
you didn't find none of that?
I didn't find any of that. What
Wait
I
a minute.
found,
Did you look hard enough?
I should have looked even harder, but I looked hard enough just hard enough to find out that they were lying. The people who told me about all this stuff were lying, like
Mm,
lying with a capital at the end of it. Lying. Those
mm.
people were full of it, completely full of it. I did not. You know what? Let me say that 99.9999% lying. I did find two Nazis, but the minute those Nazis were
That's all you
exposed,
need. Two is enough.
that's
That's
all.
it.
That's all you need.
Two is 100.
That's all. That's all you need. Hang them.
That's
Punch
it.
Nazis.
That's all you need. Like
That's all you need.
what other more proof that everybody's a Nazi once you
Yeah.
found two?
Now the thing is, right? These people. Give me a second here. These people only. Let me take a swig. These people only want comics to be the way they were. Comics used to be, depending on how old you are, right? I know you are young, and me, I'm slightly older than you. So I remember when comics used to be about meritocracy. Give me a second.
I don't know that word.
You Philistine? How could you not know the? You don't know these educated words?
Nah.
I bet you don't know what Philistine means either.
I don't.
Sorry, I
But
had to wet
it's
the throat. Been talking a lot. Listen.
but it's fine because
What,
I don't.
what, what,
But
listen,
those
listen, listen.
words never got me pussy anyway. So don't worry.
Motherfucker.
The dudes.
Dude, yo.
You want to feel?
And you gotta finish
You
it
want
off
to
with
feel? You want to feel my Philistine girl?
you-
Ooh, that's
now
the
the thing
Eternals,
is,
right?
oh, that's Angelina Jolie,
Yeah.
the Eternals, yeah. Now the thing is, when I got there, I did find two Nazis, and the minute The minute those guys were exposed as Nazis, you will not believe how quickly everyone in Comicsgate disassociated with those guys immediately. Yo, they got booted out of there so fast. They didn't even get to say the whole Sieg Heil. They said Sieg
What?
boot. All right.
Really?
Yeah. Quick. They got booted out there quick. And then one of their champions, one of the neo-Nazis champions, I forgot what his name, Vox or somebody, Vox Day, some shit. He tried to copyright the name Comicsgate. And then we laughed at him. You're copywriting. Dude, you're sitting here trying to copyright a hashtag. It's hashtag Comicsgate. And two, even if you did want to copyright the hashtag, it's like you copywriting, water. It's in common use. You can't copyright the word water.
Or
It's common
9/11.
use. A judge is gonna laugh you out the room.
Yeah.
And the reason why we said that to him was because Comicsgate, we were all using it. That shit was not only in the Twitter hashtags, that shit was all in print. We were printing shit with Comicsgate on it. We're having videos that said Comicsgate. Like what are you thinking?
Yeah.
He invested his money out of nothing. All right, so the people that the Comicsgate, I never found Nazis. Just to get to that point, never found Nazis.
Yeah.
But for that matter, I didn't find the sexists that they were telling me about either, nor the homophobes. A lot of the people who are in Comicsgate are LGBTQIA people. Okay,
Yeah.
the
Shout out to the Ligabit community.
Ligabit plus community, right?
Yeah, shout out to
So
them.
a lot of them were trans people. In fact, one of the stalwarts of Comicsgate, his name's your boy Zach, Diversity in Comics. He raised $10,000 and gave it to a trans suicide prevention organization, and to move that money, because that money was made through making comic books and selling it, right? And so for him to ship and do all that stuff, he spent 5,000 of his own money in order to move that money, right? To make sure the book shipped out and all that stuff. So he gave 10,000 and spent 5,000. So the guy he invested $15,000 into suicide prevention for trans teens.
Yeah.
You know what these SJWs try to do? They wanted this guy to basically apologize. And they asked the Trevor Project, which is the organization, they asked the organization, hey, can you give back the money?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So needless to say, there are two groups right now. Actually, there are more than two groups, but story for another time. There are two groups right now. One is Comicsgate, the other is Anti-Comicsgate, aka SJWs. And they're basically having a civil war on Twitter and online in general. Now they're losing the comics war, because all their comics are flopping. Did you see the interview with the lady that said, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book? Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. Story for another time. I'll show that to you later. However, every few months or so, now that there's a comic book civil war, there are people who get caught in the crossfire. Every few months or so, there's an artist who maybe is just trying to live their life, feed their family, and they get pulled into this bullshit. Yeah,
and this is an example right here.
Yeah, this example, see, it was all fitting, right? There's a method to the madness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
all right, look, this is J. Scott Campbell's work right here. You probably have seen this guy's work all over the internet and in comics. Absolutely fantastic artist, been in the industry for a long time.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman. Shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to her, Brazilian Wonder Woman. Wonder Mulher. Or how do they say in Portuguese? Mulheres?
I don't know. Wonders? I don't know.
Yeah, Wonder Mulheres. But yeah, so J. Scott Campbell, to tell you a little bit about this guy, he married a wonderful I don't want to call no man's wife, gorgeous, because they might feel some type of way about it if he happens to catch this broadcast. But J. Scott Campbell, no disrespect, but your wife is hot, right? And so he married a beautiful woman, and aside from this Brazilian woman right here, every every female character J. Scott Campbell draws, he uses his wife as the model. That's why a lot of his stuff is anatomically correct, right?
Yeah.
Aside from what the SJW, where are organs? Oh my God, why is the back all arched? That being what it is, his work is heavily referenced because his wife poses for most of the stuff. His wife poses for most of the stuff.
Mm.
And these people went on a tear saying, well, it doesn't matter, it's still sexist. Okay? Now, the reason why this guy's on the news is because of the image that you saw here. There's someone who made a fan redraw of his work. And you can see the fan redraw on the right here. Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
All right. Now the fan redraw, what it did, all it really did was it put some weight on the girl. And I don't really have a huge problem with the redraw. It's a perfectly fine redraw, and it does look a little bit more realistic. But
Put
go
he
ahead, go ahead.
put weight on her. I don't see that he put weight on her. I think no, because of the arms, the different arm posture and stuff like that. I think he just redesigned the arms and the legs. It might look like it looks like the same arm. I don't know if it's weight is a necessary thing, but I guess.
Yeah. Like, look, there's at least five pounds on the girl, and the 5 pounds are
I
around the
guess.
waistline. You see it? You see the gut?
The gut?
Yeah, that's what these people do. Listen, that's what they do. Have you heard of the Hawkeye Initiative? These
No.
people, these people will take your drawing. Like, you'll draw a sexy woman online. These people will take your drawing, and they will take it through filters and make them pudgy. Or if it's a woman that you draw in a nice, sexy pose like you got here, these people will take the drawing you made and they'll take a guy and then they'll pose them in the way that Mary Jane is sitting there. They'll take, like, maybe Bruce Banner and sit
Yeah.
him there with his jeans and stuff. They'll take Tony Stark and sit him there like that,
Okay.
and then
Got
that's supposed to prove a point. The point is, how do you like to be sexualized? Now, that's working from a model that men are sexualized in the same way women are sexualized, which is absolutely moronic.
it. Yeah.
Anyhow, when J. Scott Campbell found this out, now the thing is, nothing's wrong with the redraw. The redraw is not the problem. It's the messages that came with the redraw. The message was, yeah, I'm desexualizing it because basically browbeating J. Scott Campbell for drawing sexy women. Now, granted, I told you this already, that the man bases his drawings on his wife. So there's a woman out there who is this sexy. And J.
Mhm.
Scott Campbell sacrificed some goats to the
By the way,
Pyron god,
and
and
by
he
the
got that woman. Yeah.
by the way, don't let's not say that this is not a realistic beauty standard. Obviously,
Mhm.
if he's modeling this from his wife, that means that's realistic
Yeah,
because
like, duh.
yeah.
But what it is, it's
Continue.
because
Yeah.
no, it's because it's exaggerated. Like you see the arc on the back, right? So it's because it's exaggerated. They're like, nobody's back arcs like that. Where are her organs? Why is her stomach so flat? These people go on and on about cartoons, fictional characters, as if they don't have real lives. Now, granted, a little bit sidebar. These people who somehow find time to talk about cartoons on the internet, they cannot pay their rent. Every once in a while, every, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, you will find some of these guys on Twitter, on one of their, the people that they suck up to, and they're saying, can you please help? My mom doesn't have any food to eat. Can you please help? We're going to get kicked out in the street in 2 weeks. Can you please help? We have an operation coming up. Can you please help? My cat, has cancer. We want to, get rid of the
My
lump. All
my
kinds of stuff.
cat has cancer.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff's befalling
I'm
these
I'm a
guys.
I'm a I'm a I'm a a-hole
No,
here.
it's not an excuse. They
And
show the pictures.
no. I'm an a-hole, and I'm like, yeah, there's more important things in the world. That cat could die.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is sometimes people think of pets as part of the family. But my point
I
was,
get it, I
I know,
get it.
but
Yeah.
my point is that these people should have better things to talk about and to worry about than what J. Scott Campbell made money off of about
Yeah.
8 to 10, 15 years ago. This
Yeah.
man drew this in like 2000 something, like 2004, 2000,
Yeah.
something like that.
And everybody didn't care too much about it,
And
you
nobody,
know?
look, not only did we not care, some of us got it as posters, t shirts. We love this.
Yeah.
We know
I
exaggeration when we
I
see
got
it.
it.
It's artwork.
I got it as a poster, and I was lucky
There you
enough to
go.
find a girl like this. Well, her
Well,
sister,
I
by
mean,
the way, you know. So
well, the thing is, it's not really to find any girls like that. It's there for artistic enjoyment.
yeah, that's
Unless
all
you're a
it is.
teenager, then there's more enjoyment than the artistic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But here's the thing: with all that being said, and the artist saying why they basically redrew it, J. Scott Campbell says, "Well, you know what? Let me redraw your redraw."
Really? What did
Yes,
he?
he
What?
did. He
So,
redrew the
so let
fan
me
art
see it.
redraw.
Let me see it.
Let me see if it's hard to find, but let me actually get my screen share on here.
All right.
Let me get my screen share on, and we're gonna find that redraw for you, man.
Yeah. All right. Let's watch this. Let's watch this.
Let's go. Eventually, J. Scott Campbell. There are these
Mhm.
things called night letters. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but
No.
yeah, there are these things called night letters where if you're in a Middle East country, right, and then you're a soldier, and then you show up, someone pays you any sort of kindness, like they tell you which direction to go, they give you a drink of water or
Yeah.
whatever. That night, the Taliban or ISIS or Boko Haram or Hamas or whoever it is that's in charge of that place, right? They're gonna come through at night and they're gonna paste a nice big old letter. We saw you gave, Chad, a drink of water. We might come see you in the morning if this happens again. Those
Mhm.
are called night letters. Okay. Now the thing is, J. Scott Campbell and a whole heap of these artists like Frank Cho, they receive night letters. The moment that they show, the fans any sort of kindness, or the fans show them any kindness, and they go, "Oh, thanks a lot. I'm glad you're a fan of my work. I appreciate you." What? Night letter on the door. Boom. Right? Hey, nice career you got here, J. Scott Campbell. Be ashamed if someone would have come out and call you a sexist. That's what they do. Um, here's I'm trying to find the thing for you real quick.
Yeah.
The redraw. Here's the redraw. Let me see if I can open that up here. This is him. He redrew the redraw and made it sexy again, right? And he basically
This
fixed the arc
time,
on the back.
this
Okay.
time she's naked. No.
don't think I didn't notice how she's somehow metaphorically less clothed right now. There are clothing here, but the lines are so soft. She looks naked. I see you, Jay
Wow.
Scott. I see you, Jay Scott. Jay Scott is
Wow.
a troll. He a low key troll, man.
Wow. For some reason, she's only got stickies on. I don't know why. And she's spread eagle. What? Oh my god. So they don't care about Spider-Man swinging man spreading,
Yeah,
right? They don't
yeah.
care about that.
And man
Okay.
spreading and all that stuff. Hold on one second. James
Okay.
Rogers says, "What is superhero doing on that pole in the background?" Give me a minute here.
Hmm.
Let me go back to this.
Yeah, no
One
problem.
second.
We're gonna have to wrap it up because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's. Matter of fact, let's wrap this up right now.
all right.
Let's wrap this up by
I want to see the redraw
because
though.
yeah. Well, that was the redraw. Hold on. 38 minutes. So let's keep this short. But what I want to do is show you the night letter. Basically, it wasn't really the night letter. It's his response to the night letter. Let me show
Yeah.
you the response to the night letter real quick.
And you also got the redraw too because I want to see the redraw.
Well, the redraw's right here.
I
Look,
can't see it.
that's
Nobody.
that's his redraw. Oh, you can't see this? How can you not
No,
see this? Hold on.
because you don't. You got the picture
I
here.
thought I was sharing this. Share. Stop screen. Let me share. Hey, man. You know,
Is that
I'm
is
not
that
too much of a geek. Give me a
is
minute.
is that low IQ?
Is that low IQ, man? People are on this in this section of YouTube don't get that joke, but not yet. But they will. Ah,
You guys don't
let
get
me
that
get.
reference?
Yeah, they're not gonna get that reference yet, but they will. All right, here we go. Let me get that right here. That's the drawing. Can you see it again?
Oh, that's a
Can
redraw.
you see it now? Yeah, that's the redraw. And she, you are correct. It's
Ah,
metaphorically naked. All right, metaphorically, it's naked.
ah.
Okay, and for some reason,
He upped her
it's
boobs.
well, yeah, and not only that. Look, here's the thing, right? J. Scott Campbell drew the original about a long time ago, like 2005 or something like that. So obviously he's better now, and you can see that here. The guy has not been sitting on his laurels. You can see that the line weight, the form, the contrapposto on the seat, absolutely, he's awesome. Okay, but basically, he trolled the troll because obviously that fan artist wanted to troll him and he trolled the troll. But when we all came out and said, "Yeah, you go, J. Scott Campbell," well, someone put a night letter on his door and he had to come out and say this. You know, I've taken time to hear out several individuals who felt I painted them in a poor light when I made my statement about the divisive and heated rhetoric hidden within my messages threads on Instagram and Twitter in the past week. Some clarification that I feel is important. What I was stating earlier is that I'm not comfortable being implicated or included in a group, any group, without. See, the reason I specifically referred to the group Comicsgate is because it was the only specific group that kept coming up by name. Honestly, from what I've read and seen in documentaries about Gamergate and that whole fiasco, anything with Gate in it probably gets an instant recoil from me. And some individuals who were making hateful and bigoted attacks were doing so in the name of CG. That is incorrect, Jay Scott. These guys, they're so afraid. What are you afraid of? These are 12 psychos on Twitter who have no job, no future, no aspect of that's likable about their personality. They're going nowhere in life. But these
Listen, but
professionals,
once the cancel mob gets you, it don't matter.
yeah, but the thing is, look, J. Scott Campbell is cancel proof. You understand? These unless he does something crazy, like I don't know, sexual assault or something like that, then even I'll be like, yo, you cancel, bro, because I don't deal with that shit. But if he is who he is right now, just draws cool shit, he's cancel proof. And him and all these guys, they're afraid of these 12, and it's nothing but 12 psychos. Here's how the hierarchy goes, Rad. There are 12 mentally deranged, psychotic people on Twitter who turn anything you say into a negative, right? And they have maybe 100 to 200 people who come on there and like and retweet everything they say. Based on that, those 300 or 212 people, right? Those 212 people, they get referenced by their buddies who run websites. And so when they're like, "Hey, Rad's a piece of shit. Rad hates women," right? We say that. We 12 psychos say that on Twitter, right? Then we move those tweets and say, "Hey, you guys over at salon.com, at slate.com, at whatever.com, put this in your article." So salon.com's like, "Hey, radical Latino is a raging sexist. He hates women. You want proof? Look at these tweets. Bloom, 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 bloom." And then
Mm.
these people come back online and they're like, and let's say Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, right? Let's say he's looking to do a comic book. He's like, "I love Marvel. I'm trying to do something with my name, RDJ, my name on it, not Marvel. Who's available?" Oh, some comics good gate guys have some good artwork and writing. Maybe I could work with them. These 12 psychos and their 200 followers will approach Robert Downey Jr. Remember, rich people ain't got time for this shit.
Hmm.
They will approach RDJ and be like, "Look, these people that you're talking about, radical Latino in particular, he's a raging sexist and bigot. He hates women." RDJ's like, "Really? What proof do you have?" "Here are this collection of tweets." "Tweets? That's all you got?" "Yeah, but there's also salon.com, slate.com. Rock Paper Shotgun, Bleeding Cool, they all say that he's a sexist. Now, the interaction with RDJ, that's on record on Twitter too. So
Mm,
when someone from a website says, hey, let me look up Radical Latino, he sees there was a big mess with RDJ involved, saying, hey, with RDJ saying, wow, it really looks bad. I don't think I want anything to do with Radical Latino. And this is how these people get you canceled. These
mm,
people keep doing this, and they know they're lying. They're lying. They know they're lying. And the people who basically bend their knee and scrape their foreheads on the ground and acquiescence to these people, right? Begging them like, please don't take my head next. The people who do this, these 12 psychos have no respect for them, because low key inside of them, it's like the girl who gives you a shit test. You know what a shit test is, right, Rad?
of course.
It's the girl who gives you a shit test. You go and do it. She has no respect for you now. She gave you a shit test and you did it. So basically, these 12 psychos, they tell you, yeah, I received death threats from Radical Latino. And you're like, can I see proof? Proof? You don't believe victims? Hashtag believe victims. And you're like, and Rad's like, all right, I believe you. Now they have no respect for you. How stupid are you? I made a seethingly hot accusation that would destroy anyone's career, something that demands proof. And you didn't ask for proof, you just believed me off rip. Man, you are spineless. This is what they're thinking deep down on the inside, even though on the outside they're like, thank you for believing victims. This is
Yeah,
who we're dealing with in this comic book culture war and civil war that we're talking about here. But let's wrap it up.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
My name
Yep.
is the Radical
Radical
Latino.
Latino, and
Um,
I am Brotep, aka Comic Apocalypse,
yes, and if you
and
guys
we are
like what
those
you,
dudes. I'm
yes,
sorry,
those
good.
dudes, and if you guys like what you saw, you guys like what you heard, subscribe, share, like, and with that being said, we're gonna catch you later. Peace.
Yep. Boom.